still a critical part. Because in this salary cap era, when you pay those you pay 3 max contracts, you don't have much room for your bench. And not only is it a problem as far as numbers, but style. You can't just duplicate the style that Golden State plays at. We can't think that they've played 3 years of record-setting basketball, and the way they play as far as spacing the court, moving the ball.
I mean, specific individuals.
No, just the style from which they play. Forget
the style in which they play, which they can only play given the specific set of skills those guys have.
Right, and adding Kevin Durant to a great team, and Steve Kerr, like, you just can't play that. Your big people have to be able to pass the ball. So when you don't have Draymond Green in there, how do you replace all that? The sacrifices that they make defensively, where they play great team defense. You don't get that when you just next guy up. So this has been a unique team as far as their tenure together, and we can't expect them or any other team in the NBA to be able to recover from injury. This is one of the greatest team and collection of players that we've seen, and we can't expect injuries not to affect them. There is no team that is injury-proof.
But the Warriors have appeared to be, which is why this is so interesting. Because the Warriors have had amazing luck over the last 3.5 years, injury-wise, which is why it's so interesting to watch them right now. Go ahead.
And the fact that, Nick, you've been talking about this for a long time. It's not that I'm concerned about the Warriors. History says be concerned about a team that's played this many games, going on their 4th year, the things that have happened. So Nick's been talking about that for a long time. Like, listen, Chris, these are the things that happen. I was like, man, Golden State, this is the best that they've ever been. In the 2nd year of Kevin Durant, he's like, Chris, I'm telling you, in the 4th year, now it's a stronger argument than the Tom Brady at 40, but this one is proven out to be true, and he has several examples of why I should be concerned about the Warriors.
We know that remove LeBron James, and here are the list of teams, players, that have been to 4 straight finals. Russell Celtics, Magic's Lakers, Bird Celtics. That's it. Not 4 straight championships, just been to 4 straight finals because of the atrophy of the seasons. The Pistons went to 3 straight in the late 80s, and then they never went back. The Lakers went to 3 straight. They then did go back, but it wasn't the following year. The Lakers went to 3 straight again. They haven't been back since then. Like, we have seen LeBron going to 7 straight, 4 straight with Miami, and now potentially 4 straight with Cleveland, has changed how we view the likelihood of this. But even if you just remove how many finals in a row the Warriors have been to, and we just look at injuries and their effect on the NBA championship, let's go back a handful of years. In 2012, the Bulls have the defending MVP. They're 50-16 in the lockout year. And Derrick Rose blows his knee out in the first round of the playoffs. Their title hopes are gone. In 2013, the Thunder of the 1 seed. They look like they can get over the hump. They had been to the finals the year before. And Russell Westbrook injures his knee in the first round of the playoffs. And they're done. 2014, the Thunder again with Serge Ibaka. 2015, the defending MVP, Kevin Durant, misses the year with his foot. And, by the way, the best team in the East loses Kevin Love and then Kyrie Irving. 2016, the Clippers, that should be their year. Blake breaks his hand. Then Blake and CP3 get hurt in the playoffs. Last year, Kawhi Leonard. This year, Gordon Hayward and Kawhi Leonard again. Injuries affect the championship picture every year in the NBA. It has worked to the Warriors' benefit each of the last 3 years, the injuries. This year, we'll see. Like, Steph and Klay both are supposed to be back before the playoffs. But I'm curious how a broken bone in a hand affects one of the greatest shooters ever, even once the bone's healed. I'm curious how to see Steph Curry, how he plays when he is 4 times this year injured a surgically repaired ankle. And no one roots for injuries, but the law of averages says they should affect everybody. And this Warriors team, it has only affected them as far as their opponent being injured in the playoffs, never them being injured in the playoffs.
You said something interesting yesterday, Nick, when you mentioned that if they're going to have a time to get injured, or at least you were talking about Steph, this might be the best time. They're already either going to be the 1 or the 2 seed. That's locked up, basically. They can just sort of let let these guys heal. But now you add Klay Thompson too. You had a nagging shoulder from Draymond Green. Have you changed your opinion on that? Is now maybe not the best time, and if they can sort of conceded that 1 seed?
I think that they are. I think these injuries will prevent them from competing for the 1 seed, because I think they only have a maximum of 2 losses to play with. Probably only 1 loss they can afford to have the rest of the way, unless we think the Rockets are going to fall off. If they're all healthy by the playoffs, then these injuries, we won't look to it to matter at all, except for they didn't get the 1 seed. But I am concerned about the recurrence of Steph's injury, and it just feels like a team that has been on the right side of luck. All of a sudden, it's like, I mean, the way Klay got hurt, it's not like he fell to the ground.
No,
it's
just
someone
reaching in, making a normal defensive play.
Exactly right. So I mean, it doesn't shock me that all of a sudden the Warriors are being subjected to what every team we've seen in NBA history has been subjected to, which is some important guys getting hurt.
Are you concerned at all whether they're the 1 or the 2 seed at this point? Because that's all we're really now focused on as we play the last couple games of the season.
I can't be concerned about them being the number 1, because I think that's done. You know, what I'm more concerned about is the trickle-down effect. First you have Steph, then you try to get Draymond a little bit of rest. And Andre Iguodala, I'm concerned about him, because now that Klay's out, how you going to rest Iggy? Now, Iggy, to me, has had one of the worst seasons. He's the guy that I believe in the playoffs, he's that changer. He can play defense. He can give you an offensive push. He can give you 15 to 20 points. What type of guy are we going to see in the playoffs? Because he can't rest now. His body's banged up because of Klay. Draymond's getting a little bit of rest. So the trickle-down effect, I believe, will affect the Warriors.
I want to. You said something there that you think the 1 seed's probably gone for them. One of the reasons, in fact, I think the premier reason we believe they're not going to get the 1 seed, it's not just the 2 losses that they have more than the Rockets. It's that the Rockets won the season series 2-1. So if they finish with the same record, the Rockets will get it. And this is what is, to me, one of the reasons I hope the Rockets get the 1 seed. You know why the Rockets won the season series? First game of the year. Game 1 of 82. Rockets, Warriors. If the Warriors win that basketball game, which, by the way, you're the defending champs. You had all offseason to celebrate. You have no significant new pieces. The Rockets are working in a bunch of new pieces. Luke Richard-Mute, P.J. Tucker, oh yeah, Chris Paul. Game 1 of the year. If the Warriors handle their business and win that game before the Rockets have gelled in Golden State, a place they typically have never lost the last few years, guess what? The Warriors are tied with them in the standings and have the tiebreaker. And they can deal with these injuries. They can deal with a couple more losses. Like, every game should matter. And game 1 of the year looks like matters a ton.
If you have to take one silver lining, can you look at it and say, okay, so now Kevin Durant, we have to see what Kevin Durant can do when this is really just solely his team?
No, there's nothing good about the top-line guys getting hurt. So now when you get to the end of the season, guess who's tired from trying to carry the team? Kevin Durant. So even at the end, can you rest him? Because there's a huge difference between the 2 seed and the 3 seed. So if there is some type of silver lining, that maybe now they don't have to chase Houston, that maybe they can just randomly just rest guys. You know, but I don't believe that Kevin Durant, because this is the kind of situation he had in OKC. I believe he likes playing with the superstar players. The game's a lot easier for him then.
And I've seen Kevin Durant have to be the best guy on the team. If it were, like, not worried about the Warriors long term, as a basketball fan, I'd be interested in if KD and Steph were out. I've always wondered, what does it look like when Klay Thompson's the best guy on the team? Because I've never seen it.
Right.
I've never gotten to see Klay as the best guy. How does his game translate where he's not a playmaker, where he doesn't dribble a lot? Can he give as much effort on defense as he's known to do if he's your number 1 option on offense? That would be a little more interesting to me.
Right.
I know what KD looks like as the best guy, with 1 superstar, with 2 superstars, with 3 superstars. And last night, they were fine. They beat the Lakers, who've been playing well. But, last night's team would not get out of the first round in the West. But they're not going to be without Steph and Klay and Draymond in the first round.
And that backcourt for a week, at least. We don't really know yet about Draymond. All right, let's take a break. Coming up, are the Patriots making a mistake letting so many players walk? It's next on First Things First.